Listen, when I was an office PA, I started this job. I started an office PA in LA. I showed up to give a script to a girl. I was delivering scripts at the time, and I delivered a script to a girl, and he opened the door because he was dating her. And I remember going, here's the script. He was like, thanks, buddy. And I'm going, and I didn't say anything because I don't want to embarrass him, but I remember thinking, it's Jason freaking Priestley, because 90210 was such a big part of all of our lives back then. You know, you couldn't wake up. I don't know, man. Fanboy? What would you, who?
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean?
Barack Obama.
That's
I would go so fanboy with it.
I could go either way. I remember shaking when I met Garth Brooks. So that would probably be mine. I remember because he's such a great guy and he's inspired me so much. So I remember really having a hard time holding it together when I was talking to him. So I think Garth Brooks, even though I've already met him, that was the time that I really fanboyed out.
Hi everybody. The question goes to all of you. Talking about movies, what is your favorite movie?
That can go like 5 deep. It's a good question though. Can somebody get Henri a beer?
Don't twist my arm, yes.
Deuce it. Let's do 2 of those. Yeah, I'm not drinking today. 2.
My favorite movie, yeah, exactly. My favorite movie is, it's a toss-up between The Outlaw Josey Wales and I love this version. I don't want to get into that whole thing. I probably shouldn't. My favorite movie is The Professional. I just love that movie. But there's a version, the French version, Henri, called Leon, and I really love Leon, the way it was originally meant to be seen. America didn't like it because, like, when I saw The Professional, I was like, he's in love with this girl, and he was like, yeah, like a father, and I was like, no, this is not how. And then when you watch Leon, the true story is like, you know, it's a little bit weird to talk about because she's so young in the movie, but it's an unbelievable love story if you think about it. And I thought that Jean Reno was incredible.
Yeah. Yes.
That was his first film too.
Yes.
I don't know, for me, I think maybe True Romance.
Oh, great.
Because, yeah, I mean, it's just Patricia Arquette and they're so, everybody is so good in that, in one, maybe my favorite Brad Pitt role ever.
Yeah.
But it's just really good, and it's got one of my favorite monologues in it too.
I'm not watching the TV because I'm seeing it twice. I'm not scared of you. I just don't like it.
Yeah, what's his name?
Gary Oldman, man.
When Christian Slater's dad gets.
Oh man, Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper, man. That was
Yeah,
the best
that
scene
scene is just
Quentin Tarantino.
the best, man. It's the best.
You know, the thing is, a lot of people don't know this. Brad Pitt was supposed to play the lead in that.
Really?
Yeah, and the problem was he was doing Legends of the Fall at the same time. So Brad called and said, and this is a true story. Brad called and said, look, I just want to do something. I want to be in this film because I love it so much, even though I can't play the lead. Christian Slater got the lead, so they gave him the Floyd.
You know what's funny? Because now he's had like 2 bit parts in Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
And you're like waiting for him to have.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was supposed to play the lead, and I gotta be honest with you, I think Christian Slater nailed it. Everybody in that movie nailed it.
He crushed it.
Well, I'm doing something with Gary Oldman right now, and his character in that is just amazing. Should have won Academy.
You can't even recognize it.
How many Academy Awards should have been won off of that movie? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Walken could have got one, Hopper could have got one, you know.
Yeah. They made a second Weekend at Bernie's, by the way. Like dramatic comedies.
I don't know, that's a tough question.
You gotta answer it though, man. She's asked you.
I'll tell you what I told Jonah, and I'm adamant about this. Will Ferrell, Get Hard, is one of the funniest movies. for now.
So get hard.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Thank you.
Hello. I've got two questions. My first one is, who was your musical artist growing up, most influential, as well as acting influentials?
Who did I respect? Who did I become? Why did I start
Singer
playing
and
music?
actors, yeah.
I've answered this the same for years, and it's true. Elton John and Alice in Chains, and it's like literally like, and it's funny because I always thought Lane Staley wrote the songs, and he didn't. Jerry Cantrell wrote them, and Bernie Taupin wrote all of Elton John's stuff. But I was a little disappointed when I found out that stuff out. But that was my big thing. I loved Elton John.
Have you ever met him?
I've never met him. I've seen him play once in Vegas. But I hung out with Jerry Cantrell one night. Shooter Jennings and me used to play a lot, and Shooter introduced me to him. And I was giving and this is too long-winded. Well, this is what we're here for, right? I was giving an interview about Lane Staley, how much Alice in Chains. I was giving an interview in LA Weekly. At the same moment, they were pulling his body out of Seattle. So underneath it has an asterisk, and it says, Christian Kane had no idea that what had just happened, because I was literally at 2:30 p.m. I was giving the interview talking about him as they found him. He died in Seattle. But I just remember that I was a Pearl Jam fan, but that whole Seattle sound that came out that changed music forever, it was really about Alice in Chains for me. So I don't know. And that's why I love working with Hank, because my good friend, the late and great Chuck Goff, who played bass for Toby Keith, who was one of my dearest friends in the world, he used to call them L1 chords. And me and Hank tend to write a little bit dark, and I love that. That all stems from Alice in Chains. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think my influences are from that same time period.
Changed
as
our
well.
lives, man. I
Yeah.
wasn't a huge hairband fan. I love me some fucking Whitesnake.
Yeah.
But it's like, as soon as that Seattle sound kicked in, I was like, this is where.
Yeah. I used to play with Aaron Lewis, so we were like covering all those songs. I got to sing
Aaron Lewis
Alice
is
in
Stained,
Chains.
by the way. If you guys don't know who Aaron Lewis is, great artist.
So when we were in high school, we had a cover band. We were playing like Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains tunes every weekend. It was. He could sing
It's
that.
been a while since I could
We'll do that.
hold my head up high. It's been a while.
Yes,
We'll give it a shot.
please.
What about you, Jonah?
No, I mean, I always liked, like the music that my parents were listening to, but they weren't listening to anything current. And I remember being a really little kid and hearing "I Love Rock and Roll" from Jonah and the Blackbirds, and I was just like, I didn't understand what was happening. I just laughed and smiled the whole time. And then I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, I lived in like right outside of Washington D.C. and all this hip hop was just trickling down from New York because nobody really knew what it was. So it was, around the time like License to Ill from the Beastie Boys and
EPMD.
yeah, Raising Hell came out. All these made it palatable for the masses. Guys like Rick Rubin and so I was kind of listening to a lot of that stuff. Just Heavy Diva Boys, D-Light, EPMD, all this kind of stuff, and then. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, these guys in Seattle started to write stuff that, wasn't so happy anymore. It was a little bit more raw and a little bit more real. It wasn't as polished, which is kind of, I think Guns N' Roses was, when Appetite for Destruction came out, that was like kind of one of those records that kind of showed everybody that you don't have to be.
I got the first album.
Poison,
I got the first album at the record bar in Oklahoma. I waited until they opened up. I walked in and I was like, I want this. And I got the first Appetite for Destruction's album.
The cover for it was intriguing enough for anybody to go, just give me that, I don't care what's in it. But the Seattle stuff kind of like changed. I think we're kind of that generation where it kind of changed everything. And so for me, like that kind of got me a little bit away from hip hop a little bit. And for a drummer, like all the hip hop just made sense to me. It just worked for me. But I think everything else kind of changed. And now, I mean, I think it's one of the most exciting times ever for music right now because there are no distinct genres right now. Everything is an amalgamation and a mix of so many different styles and types of music, and you can have